Good evening humans, Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Action Force Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Steel Brigade Night Ops figure from Valaverse. I've been having a ton of fun with this line, and this figure honestly just kind of encompasses a lot of the stuff that I love about the line itself. So let's get right into it. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this actually might be one of my favorite figures in the line so far. There's a lot of reuse, as there has been in this line. However, it's just used really well, and starting right off with the colors, black and green, so it's very typo negative, which is one of my favorite bands. So that's really cool to see, and nice touch. Beyond that, I just really like the way the accents were used. So obviously, overall, we're mostly black plastic here, even down here, and I love the color of the, I guess just the boot design. They kind of look like spats, but I don't think they are. I think they're just kind of green on the boots themselves, but really well detailed with the buckles and, the black showing through the green just as it needs to. As we have had with the whole line, the bottom of the boots are even sculpted, which is always a nice touch. And, as you can see, lots of details on the vest itself. I think we've seen this vest before. I'm actually not 100% sure, but we do have the symbol here on the top, and then the gray really kind of pops out. It's not generally a color you think of popping, but certainly against the black and with the green, it's kind of a nice touch, and we see that carried over to the elbow pads and the knee pads and a little bit here on the holster piece. So really well done, and we've seen these legs with a bunch of other figures in Valaverse. We've seen the arms, the torso that's under this. I'm not going to take it off. I took it off before and I can't get it reattached, but that is what it is. And then finally, the all new sculpt comes into the helmet, and I love the design of this helmet. Looks really cool. You can see you got the kind of little element here at the top. I love the way the kind of mouthpiece comes out, kind of almost Mortal Kombat ninja looking. And the bright green on the visor obviously like really sticks out, and just really cool detailing all around, and just badass looking figure. For accessories, we get a fantastic loadout, as we have been getting with many of the Valaverse Action Force figures, and so let's jump right into it. So for hands, we right out of the box get a couple of trigger finger hands, and those have the vertical hinge. Then we get a couple of fists, a couple of weight holding / cupping hands, and then finally a couple of standard gripping hands with a horizontal hinge. Then we move on to weapons, and we get this handgun that we have seen with a few other figures at this point, just a little green paint on the pullback part there. I'm not good with guns, y'all, sorry. And then we get this assault rifle machine gun with the grenade launcher, I believe this is, on the bottom. I think this came with Bone Collector as well as a couple other figures. Then we get a couple of clips, which actually come in the vest. So almost missed those, but you do get a couple of those. It's really nice. Then finally, we get a little knife. I've got a little bit of paint slop there on the blade, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But overall, like, fantastic sculpt. Looks really, really good. And then finally, we get the Action Force stand, this time in black instead of that kind of gunmetal that we usually get. So that's accessories. Articulation, balance are every bit as good as we have come to expect from Action Force, and this is no different because it's built off pretty much the same buck as a lot of the figures. So let's break it down top to bottom as we do. Our head is on that ball hinge, so we're getting about that far up. We're getting that far down, and not too much on the tilt, but we do get a little bit. Come to the arms, we have a ball joint, a butterfly joint that comes that far back, that far forward. We are hinge and swivel at the shoulders. We're coming to a perfect T. We have bicep swivel. We have double jointed elbows, folding pretty much completely in half. We have hinge and swivel at the wrists. Only verticals are for the trigger fingers. Then we come to the torso, and same as every other figure in the line, we get a ball joint at the diaphragm, a ball joint, pardon me tonight, at the waist, And so that's going to give us all sorts of range. Going to be hindered a little bit by this overlay, but that comes off, as I had said before, just a couple of notches here. Bottom one didn't go back in. Just got to heat that up, honestly. And so yeah, so we're getting all around there. Come to our hips, we have our drop downs, which allow us to get all the way out. So we can hit our splits beautifully. We can come all the way forward, even decently back. And then we get thigh swivel, double jointed knees, folding almost completely in half, get boot swivel, then we get perfect point, a little bit of forward, and beautiful, beautiful rocker. So that's articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some other Valaverse Action Force, with some G.I. Joe Classified series, with some Hasbro, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with an articulated icons Oni, and yours truly in human form as an articulated icons ninja. So my final thoughts on the Steel Brigade Night Ops figure from Valaverse is that this is a kick-ass figure, and honestly, if you have any of the other Valaverse figures, you know what you're getting into. It just comes down to aesthetics in that case, and if you are not familiar with Valaverse Action Force, then honestly, this is a fantastic place to start. And as I said at the beginning, this is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, so that's the only place you can get it. So I will include that link in the description below if you are interested. So please check that out if that is the case. And with that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and or sharing. If you want to take it to the next level and help me even more, there'll be ways to do that at the bottom of the description. So please check that out. And with all that being said, I hope you take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.